It is Pro Bouncy Ball, and we go where the story takes us, and there is no bigger drama-o-rama than in Los Angeles. The once proud Laker franchise, now the laughingstock of the NBA. It is a 5-alarm dumpster fire in La La Land. The Lakers have lost 6 of their last 7 games. They've fallen 7 games under 500 on the season. Keep in mind, we are not still early in the year. We are getting late in the game. The Lakers are 27-34 as we are talking. They have played 61 games. 61 games. So if you do the percentages, and we like doing percentages because people relate to percentages. So the Lakers have played here 61 games. There are 82 games scheduled. So the MALLER math means that the Lakers at this point have played almost 75%, just a shade under 75% of the schedule, and they're 7 games under 500. So you are what your record says you are, but wait, there's more. The Lakers are 4.5 games behind the People's team without Kawhi Leonard, without Paul George, the Clippers, for the 8th spot in the Western Conference, and that means they would have to win a pair of those Fugazi play-in games just to make the actual real playoffs if the season were to end right now. The Pelicans, who have been coming on like gangbusters here. New Orleans, a team that has some talented players. They made a trade for C.J. McCollum, and they've got some guys that can certainly score the basketball in the Bayou. And the Pelicans, who have been a miserable team this year, but they are sneaking up on the outside. They blew out Sacramento by 30 in NBA play last night, and so they're just a hair behind the Lakers. They're 2 back in the loss column. The Portland Trailblazers have also been lurking around there, and they are snooping around. They got blown out the Blazers, so they lost a game in the loss column, losing to the Suns. But the point of all this is things are not looking good. It is cloudy with a chance of meatballs right in your face, the way this is going right now for the Lakers. But despite all of that, Frank Vogel is still optimistic. He's the coach for now, the temp coach of the Lakers. So I don't know if you saw what he said or not. Perhaps you missed it. But Frank Vogel, just imagine I'm Frank Vogel. He said, quote, if Anthony Davis is able to come back and we catch the right matchup or catch a team at the right time, and if we're able to catch fire at the right time, we're going to have a chance, close quote. So let me do the math on that. That's 1. It's 2, and I think that's actually 3 if scenarios. 3 if scenarios, I do believe, from Frank Vogel. He said, if Anthony Davis is able to come back and we catch the right matchup or catch a team at the right time, and if we're able to catch fire at the right time, we're going to have a chance. But he could have used 3 ifs. He used 2, but it was really 3 ifs. So let us discuss. The question, very simple here, do you still believe that despite a morbid record, a team that is disjointed, that the Lakers, if they get Anthony Davis back for the playoffs, will have a shot? So I'm giving this side eye is what I'm doing. I'm giving this side eye. I've got Humpty, George Michael, and Slippery. And we will connect all of these things together. Make the Baba Ganoush. I'm going to make the Baba Ganoush. Now, first of all, we can write the eulogy for the 2022 Lakers right now. And we have no shame in our game. This is a team that is wallowing in the mire. Anthony Davis, even if he walks through that door, is not the savior. The unibrow is about to turn 29 years old. Happy early birthday. Of course, if you actually look at how old Anthony Davis's body is, he's a guy in his late 60s, early 70s. He's the real Benjamin Button. And, of course, all the injuries here, I looked up just for S and giggles. I looked up Anthony Davis's injury chart. And just this year with the Lakers, he has missed games with an MCL in his left knee, sore right wrist, the flu, sprained right foot, and more. He's Humpty Dumpty is what he is. If Humpty Dumpty could dunk and dribble, he'd be wearing number 3 for the Lakers. I think he is wearing number 3 for the Lakers. But the injury chart and we have a special website because we're cool media people, but it's 6 pages. 6 pages just since Anthony Davis got to the NBA, most of that with New Orleans, but the real Anthony Davis has shown up. And it's amazing when he doesn't have 4 months off before the postseason. He just keeps getting hurt. The guy is made out of glass. He's made out of glass. Now, Anthony Davis has played 37 games this season. So after a thorough MALLER show investigation, a minutes-long MALLER investigation, we can debunk the claim made by Frank Vogel that Anthony Davis, when they get him back, everything will be good. Everything will be good. Because guess what? In those 37 games Davis has played this year, do you think the Lakers have a winning record, a .500 record, or a losing record? Yeah, that would be door number 3. Ding, 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 ding. Anthony Davis, he has 17 double-doubles with cheese, some animal-style fries, and the purple and gold have a 17-20 record. That is under .500. The Lakers with Anthony Davis in the lineup, the great savior, the great messiah, according to his coach, have a losing record. That's the knight in shining armor that's here to save the day. That's the guardian angel for the Lakers. Now, secondly, as for the optimism from Frank Vogel, now, realistically, the Lakers have no chance. As far as the puncher's chance, everyone has a puncher's chance, but outside of that, forget about it. But Frank Vogel, his view is slanted here. Vogel has got to play the good cop publicly. He's the Laker girl in front of the cameras, playing along as the cockeyed optimist, and he's already survived several near pink slip experiences this season as Laker coach. So, good cop. Publicly, he's the cheerleader, rah, 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 rah. He's actually humming a classic George Michael song, Faith. Now, I'll just have to wait because I got to have faith. That's his public stance. Privately, he can be the bad cop, right? Privately, Frank Vogel, not an idiot. I don't think he's a moron. Maybe he is. I haven't given him an IQ test. But Frank Vogel has witnessed more than anyone what a hot, mistake-filled mess this is, right? It's pure manure. Manure is what it is. Behind closed doors, if you gave Frank Vogel truth serum, he would have a belly laugh at how rotten the round ball is. Rotten round ball. Watching the Lakers, I've gotten great joy of this out of this as a Laker hater, but watching the Lakers really urinate in the kiddie pool of the NBA has been tremendous. What a verkakta performance by this team. Now, final thought. So Frank Vogel knows that as long as the Lakers have a pulse, he has to be the good cop. And when you play the mighta, coulda, shoulda, woulda, you've gone down a slippery slope. There's an old phrase that has been used from time to time that it's the old ifin game. If lightning strikes in the same spot 5 times in a row, we'll be good. If this happens, if that happens, then we'll be all right. It's a version of the Mike Martz special. Yibbit, 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 yibbit. Yeah. Russell Westbrook. Yibbit, if he plays like he did in Oklahoma City where he was a stat-stuffing machine, you'd be good. LeBron James, whose numbers are inflated this year. I saw LeBron staying there in these last couple of games when the Lakers were getting blown out, fattening up his stats. Carmelo Anthony. He stinks. And you can tell LeBron he's showing the same tendencies he showed near the end of his runs in Cleveland and also in Miami, where I don't know if he's got his entire foot out the door, LeBron, but he's got a couple of toes, a couple of tootsies out the door. And Westbrook has looked like a fish out of water. That has not gone well. Carmelo's washed up. But yeah, if the Lakers can buy the hot tub time machine and set the year 2012, they'd be in pretty good shape. They'd be in pretty good shape, but I don't think that is going to happen. All right, it is the Ben Maller Show. Now, I mentioned this last hour. I want to change gears here, go to the NFL. It is Combine Week. Teams continuing to get ready for the 2022 NFL Draft next month in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the Philadelphia Eagles, who have done things outside the box. They believe in coloring outside the lines in Philly. They don't do things the normal way. So what have they done now? Before I tell you what they've done now, you might remember that Philadelphia last year, they played some competitive games between the coaches and the players. I believe it was rock, paper, scissors was one of the games they played last year, among other things. And now Sam Howell, I present to you Sam Howell. Who is that? He is the college hopeful to get to the NFL. He's a North Carolina quarterback. We know there's a really rich history of North Carolina quarterbacks doing well in the NFL, unless there's not. And so Sam Howell was asked if he's had any odd questions from teams. Always a fun thing that people bring up this time of the year at the Combine. And he said he has not gotten any oddball questions, Sam Howell, but he did say that the Philadelphia Eagles scouting department decided rather than sit there and play grab ass, they said, why don't we play Pop-A-Shot? And so they had Sam Howell shoot a basketball on a mini hoop. And he said he is apparently not very good at basketball. He only made 2 out of 5, he said there. So that's the Eagles. And hey, why not? Why not? Because what the Eagles are doing here is making a mockery of the NFL draft and all of these stupid things they do. It's like, how much broccoli do you eat? If you eat a certain amount of broccoli or cauliflower or Brussels sprouts, you'll be good to go in the NFL. And if you don't, PU, what stinks? But I would say if you eat a lot of cauliflower, it's PU, what stinks? That's what it is. And I always get a kick out of this. Because there's some teams that are so hardo that they obsess about, oh, yeah, we're good football people. And you got to do things a certain way. And now you got the Rams who are like F them picks. And now you got the Eagles who are just like, all right, we're going to draft a guy based on whether or not he can play Pop-A-Shot at a high level. And I know the argument is they're testing how competitive the guy is, but it's still quite amusing. And I just want, for the record, if the Eagles invite me to a meeting, I was Mr. Pop-A-Shot back in the day. One of the reasons they call me Moneyball Maller is because of my ability to shoot the basketball. And I learned a lot of that at the arcade, old school arcade, back in the day at the Pop-A-Shot game. That is a fact, Jack.